Hi, this is Majinoni, and Radical Comics sent me a comic to review, and it's Earp, Saints and Sinners. It's the first issue of a 5-issue miniseries. Now, um, Earp is based on, obviously, Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday, and it takes place in a possible future where, you have, like, the unemployment and all that stuff going, a lot higher like it is now. Hollywood eventually collapses, and the new stars of the day are basically criminals, and they're criminals because they get on TV, they get their shootouts, so they become more larger than life characters. Now, Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday were, the cops, and then eventually they take down more and more people. They start getting promoted. There are these two guys are now on TV more. They become celebrities, and as they kept getting promoted up, if you appeared on their list, for their wanted list, they'd now all of a sudden you became somebody. So it kind of was like perpetuating violence. It created people to do more and bigger, dangerous things, and eventually these two basically split, and then because they kind of realized this is what's going on. Now, the Earp comic, it's one of Radical's fully painted titles, which I think works and doesn't work for me. And by that I mean, because it's like all dark, and dark I just mean they use a lot of dark colors. Everything just kind of, all the pages just kind of blend together, which under normal circumstances I wouldn't mind, but in this case the problem is there's a lot of time jumping, and sometimes I would miss like the little stamps up on top that says, 1 year later, or 1 year earlier, 2 weeks earlier, that type of thing. And because if I miss things like that, then I would just keep reading and go, hey, wait a second, this part doesn't make sense. And then I have to go back and reread it again. But anyways, I think overall, a lot of the backgrounds are really, really nice. There's a lot of things like this part are really good, that part's really good. They have some nice full painted pictures also, but I think there's other times where things just get a scene like this is really nice, but there are other times where it's kind of little boring, I guess you can say. Usually the boring scenes appear in rooms like this, where they just don't put a lot of detail into the room. Every once in a while you'll see a room with wallpaper and things like that, and it looks really, really good. And don't get me wrong, I understand that if you put too much detail in a small panel like this, then it becomes cluttered, and I fully can appreciate that. But there's every once in a while, at least for me, it stands out. You'll get this panel here where there's just so much going on, and then there's just emptiness. And I guess some people might like that, but for me, I tend to notice it more. Scenes like this are really good, where it shows movement. The fight scenes are really, really good overall, and I think with the painted effects, especially when there's explosions and fire and things like that, as you can see here, and there's some smoke effects done here. I'm trying not to spoil everything. Over in here, the fire effects here, things like that are really, really well done. You can easily tell that this book is almost like a treatment for a movie, because I think I saw on their website that it's an option for a movie, which I can easily see the way they wrote this, that's what their intent was. Overall, the story isn't too bad. It's going to be a story of revenge, and I am kind of curious to see what's going to happen with the way things are going. Overall, I think the book is okay. It's not something that I would have normally picked up on my own, but I can see, and I don't think it's going to appeal to a traditional superhero reader, but I think that there's probably a lot of readers out there who are looking for something that's not superhero, that's not that's a little bit more. I don't want to overuse the word mature, but something that's a little bit different, something that they can look at, and it's not like a guy in a cape flying type thing. So I think a book like this would have definitely appeal to them, especially somebody who's like more into like the Hollywood style, guns, action, things like that. And with the characters like Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday, I'm sure that there's some people who can just immediately identify with those characters. Me, it doesn't matter what their names are. To me, sometimes doing stuff like that's more of a distraction, but that part doesn't matter. There is a little bit of, I don't know, I don't want to say nudity because there's like they're semi-naked, but there's a couple scenes of that, so there's you might want to watch the mature rating. But overall, I mean, it was enjoyable. I'll have more reviews up from Radical later. If you have any comments or questions, just let me know. I'll rate the video up or down, let me know what you think. And like I said, I'll have more reviews up in general later. So until next time.